CIS107 and in 108 only Python coding or another language we can use in that both the courses?
107 is Python. So 108
no, 108 can be others. 106 is Python.
106 is Python. 107 is Python.
107 is Python.
Python, yeah.
Okay. 108 is data science.
108 is the IoT course.
IoT.
So, what is the IoT language?
Internet of Things. So in IoT we can use any of the language like C, C++.
Is it primarily
Yeah,
Python? Yeah, primarily Python.
Yeah, 108 is also primarily Python. Yeah, but you can use any language, but the courses start in Python. Yes.
What software gonna be used for learn Python?
To learn,
You can use like Bluegen and Java or something.
well, to learn Python, like we use, I think for the 106 they use a tool called Spider, which is an editor that you use. You learn more about that when you join the course. Okay. All right, hey guys, my name is Sanjay. I'm the instructor for the 107 course. So the 107 course is the next level after the 106. The 106 is an introduction in Python, and the 107 basically, uses Python in order to teach you data science. So it's a foundations in data science course. Obviously, like data science is pretty popular these days. Like a lot of you are probably here because of data science, because you've heard about data science and you're here to find out more and learn about it. So this course is all about giving you that foundation in data science. Like what exactly is data science trying to do or trying to help us with, right? So just to give you, just to put things in perspective, right? Today, obviously, like every decade or so we evolve, right? I mean, so if you think about it, like maybe a century back, you had like the agricultural revolution. Like 30 years back, you had a digital revolution coming in with web programming and all of that. So right now, we're actually on the wave of the next evolution, and that evolution is basically based on data science. Right? Data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence. That's the next wave that we're currently, sort of climbing or getting on. And where we are right now is sort of at this, pretty much like at the very beginning of that. It may seem to you that, some of you that you've missed the boat, but really, I mean, no matter which AI expert you talk to, they'll tell you that we are at the beginning. We're just learning. We don't have a self-driving car that actually works today, right? All of them are experimental, but nothing is deployed. A lot of the work done in machine learning right now is very trivial compared to what it can do, right? For example, 10 years from now, you'll probably be talking to a machine, right? And you'll be able to debate with a machine, right? So that's how advanced things can get. But where we are right now is we're still at the very beginning. So my point to you is, data science is an exciting field, right? And what I want you to know is that we're still at the very beginning. There's still a lot of growth that this field is going to see. And, you're right. The timing for which you're trying to consider this field is just right on, okay? Because if you climb the wave now, you'll be successful, okay? So the other thing I want to talk about is, just to give you a little bit of sense of why data science is so powerful, right? So first off, there's data, 20 years back or 25 years back, there's probably one connected device in your home, right? Maybe you had a PC, right? Some of you are probably younger than that, right? Maybe there was a PC at home, right? And that was the only connected device that you had. But today, like in my home, I have like over 50 devices that are online. I have 2 kids, they have their iPads, cell phones, Alexa, Google Home, like everything is connected. And everything is collecting data, right? Collecting data and, looking at your lifestyle, looking at, your activity, how are you interacting with it? And, and the data that is being collected, right, has just been accumulating for several years, right? And we've been wondering like what to do with all that data, right? So finally, like around 20 years back, like artificial intelligence and neural networks has been around for like 30 years. It's not something that just happened like 5 years back. What happened 10 years back, 8 years back, is we actually found a way to make it practical. Before, it would take a supercomputer to use, this data about, say, for example, like looking at data, like looking at maybe a picture of a cat and saying that it's a cat. It would take a supercomputer to do that. What we figured out now in the past 5-6 years is how can we do it in a much simpler way, using your iPhone, using a much simpler device. So that is essentially the technological change that basically made data science and all of this other work, that's all the machine learning stuff, AI, actually accessible. Like they call that the democratization of data, meaning that where like weather forecasting, you had to build a supercomputer for that. Today, you can do weather forecasting on your iPhone. And that's the change that happened. And basically, like what's going on right now is we're all catching that wave, and we're trying to see what else can we do with the advances that are being made with the tools that help us do this data science. Right? To give you another example, data science is also about learning. Like machine learning is all about how do you recognize a cat, right? For example, and it's all about teaching a machine to recognize what a cat looks like, right? Like for example, like when I see you, for example, next time I go back and I see, how do I know that it's you? Essentially, like my mind is registering pictures of you, right? Every second, how many pictures of you am I picking up? How many? 25 pictures, 25 frames per second, right? So that's how much at least your camera operates in. Your eyes capture things even faster. But if I'm picking like 50 images of you every second, just in 5 seconds, I've picked like 250 images of you right there, right? And that is the knowledge that's then getting like sort of assembled in my neurons, and it's allowing me, when I see you the next time, to know that it's you. We teach machines the same thing. We feed machines pictures and pictures of cats and dogs and all these other animals, and then the machine gets smart enough to know what a cat looks like, right? And it's the same thing that we do for everything. We give it data about you, and then that allows you, for example, like Netflix, right? You watch certain movies, and then we look at other similar people like you, and we find out that, okay, they have similar behaviors to you, and then we recommend movies that you watch to them. But it's all about this learning exercise, and data science allows you to do all of that. So that's why this field is so popular, because you have data, and now finally we have the tools that let us bridge the two together to make this beautiful insight. Okay. Now, just coming back to the course, right? So the course basically talks about 3 topics, right? So the course is divided into 3 modules. The first module talks about using Python programming for data science, right? So the prerequisite is obviously that you already know Python programming, right? So when you come here, we talk about certain Python libraries that allow you to do data science. There's a library called Data Science that was created by the UC Berkeley team. So that's what we're going to use to do, the data science, operations and all of that. The second module that we're going to look at is about statistics. And this is really beautiful. See, I mean, when I was teaching statistics way back, like, in New Jersey, like 10 years back. And at that time, we didn't really have, computers were not advanced enough for us to, understand the theory that was taught. Like they talk about central limit theorem. They talk about, law of large numbers, right? All of these things are, somebody like does the theory, and then you read the textbook and you figure it out, right? Today, the beauty is that with computers, you can actually, write programs, and you can actually see all of that happening. All of the theory stuff that you just read from textbooks, you're actually doing it today, and you're experiencing it yourself, right? And a lot of what we're going to talk about in the statistical section is all about that. How do we use computer programming in order to do something called statistical inference, right? So that's what it's all about. And the third module is about machine learning itself. And that talks about, how do we actually, use machine learning to do predictions? Like how do you, for example, distinguish between cancerous cells and cells that are non-cancerous? That's something that we are learning about as part of the course today, right? There's a project, there's an exercise that actually has data about folks that have and don't have cancer, and that talks about how to use this thing called nearest neighbor algorithm to predict if someone has cancer, to predict if someone has diabetes. So these are things that you're actually going to see in the course. So we're going to talk about all these wonderful things that machine learning allows us to do. So that's essentially what the course is all about, right? The course is basically using Python programming. And again, the prerequisite is Python, because what I don't want happening is for you to come to my course to learn Python. I want you to learn data science, which means that you should be good at Python, and we can talk about data science. Otherwise, you're just trying to learn the constructs in Python. So that's largely what it's all about. It's an exciting course. I'm excited about this. I mean, I did my data science at UC Berkeley. I just passed spring of this year. And I'm currently heading AI engineering for AI Lab, which is a part of Ernst & Young. So I have this background, and I'd like to share that with you and try to see how I can use that to help you all become better in this space. So those are the class hours. So Friday 6 to 9 p.m. and Saturdays 2 to 5, especially for folks who are working. Really convenient, right? Probably for students too who have to go to school. For them to do this in the evening, we try to make it really convenient for you all. Okay. So any questions? Yes.
How much statistics do we need to have?
You don't need any statistics. So we actually teach you all of that. Yeah, it's pretty exciting for students who don't know statistics, just to see what stats can do. It's pretty exciting, yeah. Any other questions? All right, so I'll hand it back to Mark.